The same goes for enclaves of Hasidic Jews. If you recall, when Tyler Oliveira did his initial piece on the Orthodox Jewish community in New York City, I talked about pre-existing investigative reporting on the ways in which the Orthodox community takes federal funds or citywide funds and refuses to engage in like proper educational. All right.
New round of talks this morning could be the last.
We're gonna move on to some other stuff here as well. Unreal as this sounds, Mike and myself are breaking the last connection news. What? I don't know what that means, but okay. Hasan, distrust in elites is why conspiracy theories replace reliable experts with charlatans. No, for sure. For sure. But just as the democratization of media in the form of independent media has created people like myself, has given an opportunity to people like myself to be able to develop audiences and talk about issues that were previously never discussed in mainstream news, whether that be a socialist perspective, whether that be an anti-imperialist perspective, whether that be a perspective that actually is overtly anti-Zionist. Okay? It has also obviously opened up a faucet of misinformation, disinformation from charlatans, from people who actually take advantage of this unique media landscape. One of those people, of course, is Tyler Oliveira. Tyler Oliveira, as you guys know, has been a pretty aggressive peddler of racialized agitative propaganda, slopaganda, whatever you want to call it. He's gone after Haitians, claiming that they eat cats and dogs. He was actually he played a formative role in that disinformation environment during the election cycle. Everybody loved him when he did that. Nick Shitley is following his methods. And as you guys know, Nick Shirley played a big role in the Somali fraud story that they call Somalian fraud story. And the Republicans loved him. A lot of conservatives who are also Jewish were big fans of all of the toxic, repulsive ideology that these guys were presenting, this white supremacist stuff that they were putting out there. Now, they loved them. They loved these guys when they were investigating Haitians eating cats and dogs or Somalis doing fraud. But now they go after Jewish enclaves with the same substandard racial agitprop, and everyone that cheered them on are losing their minds. I wonder why. And it's very funny to see people like Joel M. Pelton. I mistakenly believed that Nick Shirley and Tyler Oliveira were very different because Nick was exposing alleged fraud and Tyler was just harassing American Jews with large families legally eligible for benefits. If you can't tell the difference between fraud and harassment, then you've just exposed yourself to be an anti-Semite. I was wrong. Shame on both of you. I never thought the lepers would eat my face. A lot of these guys don't understand. Boomer conservatives, especially of the evangelical Christian Zionist variety, are philo-Semites. Okay, they're philo-Semitic, and they're first and foremost, even if they're anti-Semitic, primarily focused on defending Israel. Okay? Zoomer conservatives, on the other hand, are Hitler Youth. And they have decided that Jews are no longer a part of the white in-group. Okay? It's that simple. This is the major driving force, the major fissure in the Republican Party right now. Tyler Oliveira has decided to move in that direction, in the Gen Z direction, where Jews are no longer a part of the white in-group. They're also on the chopping block. And as a matter of fact, if he goes by the old tradition, he will probably tie this back to a conspiracy, a grand Jewish conspiracy, because these guys all believe in the Great Replacement, right? The idea that like these cultural forces are these elite liberal cultural forces are actually bringing in unlimited third world migration into the United States of America in an effort to destabilize the superior Western civilization. Many people believe it. It's actually trafficked by famous conservative Jews such as Mark Levin. Mark Levin was formative in Nicholas Fuentes' development. Nicholas Fuentes himself has revealed that he learned about the Great Replacement from listening to Mark Levin. Okay? Just remember that. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because The original Great Replacement theory was concocted by Nazis. And the Nazis kept saying over and over again that this replacement was happening, this liberal degeneracy, this moral rot that was destroying Western civilization was actually carefully conducted by the international Jewry. A lot of conservatives thought that they could get away with the subtle or not so subtle anti-Semitic conspiracy trafficking without having this ever impact American Jews in any meaningful capacity, or more importantly than American Jews, it would never impact Israel. Now that it's actually impacting Israel, now it's a major problem, okay? Because these guys do not care, for the record, about anti-Semitism growing in the country, because they also understand what we understand, which is that there is no systematic exclusion of Jews in the United States of America and in contemporary society in the same way that it exists in like the criminal justice system for black people, for brown people, for Muslims. The systematic discrimination does not exist for Jews in the United States of America right now. It did in the past, and it might in the future, but for the time being, it doesn't exist. That doesn't mean that anti-Semitism doesn't exist. Of course, anti-Semitism exists. Anti-Semitism will still anti-Semitism happen. Discrimination against Jews at the personal level happens all the time, right? But as far as a comparison between like anti-blackness that is deeply embedded in American society, that we've never reckoned with, that we've never actually solved at all, that we refuse to even acknowledge as an existing force in American society, or Islamophobia in the way that it exists right now. It's institutional for these other forms of discrimination, but for anti-Semitism, it is not institutional for the time being. Once again, I repeat, for the time being, it is not institutional. That doesn't mean it might not become institutional again. If the Republicans decide Jews are now written out of the equation, then it will go back to the systemic enforcement. It will turn into systemic discrimination. Okay? That is the main story that is taking place within the Republican Party. Young Republicans that have an appetite for unlimited edgelordism, unlimited nihilism, have realized that, perhaps Jews are also not a part of the white in-group. Perhaps Jews as a monolithic force have led to the Great Replacement theories, going back to the old propaganda, the anti-Semitic version of fascism, okay? But while these guys were targeting Muslims and black people and brown people, everybody loved it. Now that they're targeting Jews, the conservative movement is very frustrated. The reason why they're frustrated is not even because they all unilaterally care about anti-Semitism, but they are fearful that this will actually break apart the last unlimited support for Israel crowd. If the young generation of Republicans are anti-Semitic and also anti-Israel, okay, then it's over for Israel, because the Democratic Party is already out, right? They're not anti-Semitic, but they're anti-Israel, especially on the Democratic side, on the Democratic Party side. And it's ironic that a lot of these conversations about demands of censorship and the Republicans actually leaning in to Nick Shirley and Tyler Oliveira that then turn around and pounce on them is also feeding into the anti-Semitic conspiracies that Jews control the media. This is literally feeding into it because people see it. Reactionary people look at it and go, why can't I make fun of the Jews? What is this about? Like, I thought it was, no holds barred. I thought we can make fun of everybody. And people on the left also see it. Liberals also see it as well. Dems are anti-Israel right now. Hell no, it's just a few Dems. No, my friend, I'm not talking about politicians. I'm talking about self-identifying liberals, self-identifying Democratic Party voters. The issue of Israel in the base of the Democratic Party, 20 issue, 80% are in favor of moving away from Israel. 20% still want to continue relationship with Israel in the same ways, or even, have deeper commitments to the state of Israel. The voters are not on Israel's side. The voters broadly in America are not on Israel's side. Okay? This is what Sneeko had to say. Nick Shirley makes a video about Somali daycares, gets pushed by the entire Peter Thiel, MAGA cabal, Elon, J.D. Vance, Rumble, all glazing benevolently. Tyler Oliveira exposes how Jews in Jersey scam taxpayers, harass Goyim, have their own police, hospitals. No one says a word. Now, my position on this, for those of you who don't know, or if you are, oblivious to my position on this, is that has fraud existed in Minnesota with Somali people engaging in this fraud? Absolutely. Is there a proper way to investigate this? Yes. Has that investigation taken place? Also, yes. But what Nick Shirley engaged in wasn't a proper investigation whatsoever, right? Yes, I said, has there fraud? You got me, okay? What they were doing was taking advantage of an existing court case, an existing investigation, and hours of investigative reporting to do bottom-of-the-barrel racialized propaganda to claim that every single Somali that runs a business is actually engaging in fraud, okay? And everybody loved it when they did this. The same goes for enclaves of Hasidic Jews. If you recall, when Tyler Oliveira did his initial piece on the Orthodox Jewish community in New York City, I talked about pre-existing investigative reporting on the ways in which the Orthodox community takes federal funds or citywide funds and refuses to engage in like proper educational initiatives, right? This is like a real ongoing thing. Does this mean that like Jews are engaging in this mass conspiracy to defraud the government? No, of course not. Okay? But the way that these people present this information, leaning into pre-existing investigations that have been conducted, is by taking it and broadly saying like everyone's doing it. Okay? Everyone's doing it. Did you watch this video? I didn't, but I'm very familiar with Lakewood or Lakeview. Is it Lakeview? Lakewood? The Orthodox community in New Jersey. I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with the Orthodox community in New York. It's just ironic that Nick Shirley also did pro-Israel propaganda only a year ago, and now they're calling him anti-Semitic for responding to Tyler Oliveira, Lakewood, New Jersey. Sorry, not Lakeview. But yeah, this all stems from unleashing these right-wing forces that trafficking conspiracies that constantly actually engage in like ethnic divisions, constantly present entire ethnicities, non-white ethnicities, as though they are a parasitic force in the United States of America, and now that enmity being directed at Jewish communities.
This is Lakewood, New Jersey, one of the largest Orthodox Jewish communities in America. How large are the families out here?
Anywhere from 6 to 12 children. This is probably 99.9% religious. Basically, this community is allowed to police themselves. Yeah, the trash cans. We have a problem now in Jackson with rats, which we've never had before. They don't want to live amongst us. They don't want to live with us. They just want to live and not have us be part of their lives.
I don't think it was nice how you portrayed the Jewish people.
Are we talking about Curious Joel?
Yes. When you came to Curious Joel, what was the agenda? There
was no agenda. I know what I'd even find.
But there was still an agenda in mind. There's a reason why you came down to Curious Joel, right?
Just trying to learn. What do you actually think I got wrong about it?
I just think there was an agenda.
What? Hello. I'm not sure what the strategy is. How are you doing? I think I'm gonna sue. That honk was promised to him. His kids in there is doing that?
As we were trying to escape from the Jews honking at us from all directions, turns out I had summoned the Shomrim police, the Jewish community's internal police force.
We got multiple calls.
Yeah.
I'd say 150 calls about you already.
What are they calling about?
People trying to live a quiet life on here. He's got a concern saying that you're walking up to people asking them questions, stuff like that.
Luckily, this is America, and that is the First Amendment, right?
So that's it. We're just going to follow you around. We're going to let everybody know that you can pay them not to talk to you.
Is that Blue Jacket asshole bastard doing his best vibe to vibe with the anti-Semitic crowd? Anyway, so he made this video. The video is already sitting at like
You're not welcome here. You're not welcome
it's an hour long. It's already sitting at 2.2 million views, And the video literally got his
This is Lakewood.
the video got his Patreon banned. Hasan, I live in New Jersey. I'm very active in the political sphere here. I'm sorry to say that they are, in fact, defrauding the state. You haven't been here in quite some time, but Lakewood public schools are about to close because of the loopholes they took advantage of on top of using their religion to stomp all over the Pinelands protection. Please don't be easy on them. We're fighting so hard. No. Dude, I think you misunderstood me. I'm not saying there isn't fraud in Lakewood, okay? Yes, I lived in New Jersey. I know. Just like there is not only fraud, but also a lot of mismanagement of funds in general and a litany of other issues in Kiryas Joel in New York. Okay? I know. The problem is, just like with the fraud that took place in Minnesota, one thing can be real, and then you can still use a real thing to basically engage in racialized agitative propaganda. My problem is not that this is like a real... my problem is not that there aren't issues and this guy's just like presenting it as such. Like, for example, there's a difference between what Tyler Oliveira did in Springfield, Ohio, right? Haitians were not eating fucking cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. That's just an abject lie. He went in to Springfield, Ohio with a mission to make it seem like the residents were very scared of the Haitian migration happening in Springfield, Ohio, when that wasn't actually the fucking case at all. That's different than, for example, going to Minnesota and like doing an actual investigation into whether or not there was fraud taking place. There was fraud taking place in Minnesota. It was led by a white lady, but of course, the main co-conspirators, the majority of the co-conspirators were from the Somali community. Okay, but that doesn't mean all Somalis were engaging in fraud. All Somali businesses are actually fraudulent. You see what I'm saying? The problem that I have with these kinds of outrage merchants is that they come in and they lean into one true component of a story, and instead of doing their due diligence and properly investigating it and uncovering something that people might not have known or maybe even raising awareness on it, they take a broad stroke to disparage an entire religion, a group of people from an entire religion. That's the issue that I take with this kind of racialized agitative slopaganda. You're a Somali scammer that should be deported. Bruh. ADL acting like Tyler brought Hasan and Alex Jones. Wait, what? If you cannot comprehend that this kind of racialized agitative slopaganda was concocted in a way to drive suspicion to all Jews in general, I don't know what to tell you. Ben Lorber writes, the last time anti-Haredi scapegoating was prominent in the online MAGAverse was during early COVID days when Haredi enclaves were cast as viral spreaders. Back then, I noted in Haaretz the parallels to Islamophobia. In both cases, a non-Christian community demonizes backwards, insular, fanatical invaders. Today, it seems some MAGA influencers are sensing an opening to revive this anti-Haredi discourse amidst rising right-wing anti-Semitism spurred on by America First Israel skepticism. So I want to explain a technique here, okay? I want to explain a technique that the Republican right, the reactionary right, uses very expertly. They open the door to a broader conversation all the time by hyper-focusing on edge cases, okay? They did this with transphobia. They opened the conversation with transgender athletes in high school, transgender athletes engaging in like high school sports, high school athletics. You open the conversation with that, and it's already like an unpopular issue, or it's an issue that like there's a lot of scrutiny around. It ties together a bunch of different focuses for broader majorities in American public. And then once that conversation starts, you slowly but surely move up the ranks. You go from transgender athletes in high school to transgender athletes in college, transgender athletes in the Olympics. You move into transgender people using the proper bathrooms, and then you move away from that, and you move to any sort of like gender confirmation surgeries, HRT. You slowly but surely start moving into a direction where like all trans existence in public is outright banished, and you make it virtually impossible for people to get the proper medical procedures that they need to live as who they are. And the same thing goes for all different marginalized communities where you move the Overton window. You start by talking about real fraud that takes place, sometimes in Haredi communities, but the ways in which you move on from that conversation is to basically boil the frog slowly but surely. You say like, see, this is how Jews are. See, the Jews came after me. They took my account away. This wasn't a problem when I did it for the Somalis, but now it's a big problem. It's a big issue. It's a fairly sophisticated way of doing racialized agitative slopaganda. Okay? Wall Street Journal has reported that Iran rejected U.S.'s demands and Farsi networks in the Middle East is down. Oh, shit. It might be beginning. I thought that they would wait until market close, but who knows? Testing the waters, but it's unclear to me if the larger MAGAverse will pick up on it, as it doesn't seem politically useful right now as, say, Somali invasion narratives, which these same figures helped popularize in 2024. Regardless, it's a reminder that in the Christian nationalist USA, no religious cultural minority is insulated from the scapegoating, even those who tend to be culturally conservative and MAGA aligned. Yeah, bro, market closed an hour ago? No, market closed on Friday is what I thought they would do. How do you combat people calling your reasoning a slippery slope argument and fallacy? I understand that this situation is different than most other times that fallacy is brought up, but I'm not sure how to word it. Because it's not a fucking slippery slope. It's a very clearly designed propaganda apparatus that they, if you read into it, you realize is commonly utilized. I just gave you an example with trans athletes. That was a $100 million initiative created by a lot of right-wing Christian advocacy groups when they lost the conversation in the lead up to the 2016 election with Donald Trump coming out and being like, I'm pro-trans, I don't give a shit, LGBTQ for Trump. When they lost that conversation in North Carolina with a bathroom bill, they went back to the drawing board and looked for better ways to reopen anti-trans attacks. The New York Times actually has a really good piece on this if you want to go and read the deep dive. But that's precisely what's happening here with Jews as well. Whether Jews are going to continue being considered a part of the white in-group. Is America going to continue being called a Judeo-Christian country with Judeo-Christian values or not? If you recall, I told you guys in the aftermath of October 7, there were plenty of people who kept repeating that over and over again. I said, America being a Judeo-Christian nation is a relatively new phenomenon. This is not a real thing. This is like neocons were really leaning into it, but that's not how it used to be in this country. That's not how it used to be in this country at all. But yeah, Laura Loomer is also losing her fucking mind on it. As I said before, the GOP has a massive Nazi problem. Nick Shirley responds to her, but yeah. Oh, I pissed off the little wannabe neo-Nazi. Tyler, weren't you just in India attacking Indians by calling them shit slingers? So you hate Jews and you hate Indians. Did you know Tucker Carlson's Al pouch is made in India? Are you really going to let them sponsor you? You're such a fraud. So, you know, this kind of sentiment is not going to work if your entire reactionary movement is about being against woke, right? Like these guys, Groyper right, also fucking hate Indians too. You can't just like turn around and be woke now about Jewish people, Laura. It's just like that's not how it works. You played a formative role in pushing this cultural force, this reactionary cultural force, and now it's coming after you. The leopards are eating your fucking face. Asmongold replies and says, did you watch the India video? It's one of the most positive, genuine videos about a native tradition that I've seen. Personally, I think embracing the culture shock of it is more humanizing than pretending they are just like we are. One of Tyler's best videos, in my opinion. Now, I don't think Laura Loomer is ever going to become a fucking woke ally, by the way. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I mean, she's a reactionary monster. She's courted fascists over and over again. She is a fascist. She's a Zionist fascist. And for the longest time, this allegiance was fine, right? But now this allegiance is on shaky ground. And it's not just conservative boomer Jews that are feeling the heat. There are a lot of conservative boomers who are frustrated and worried because this wave of anti-Semitism amongst the younger conservative movement are also going to inevitably demand that America cut ties with Israel. And these guys care about Israel first and foremost. If that's their highest priority, right, then that's the reason why they're coming out and speaking out against the conspiratorial right. The very same people that were firmly committed to fomenting conspiracies on the right are now coming out and suspiciously complaining about it. There's a reason for it, okay? And the reason is because they're worried that this will inevitably attack the American interest in Israel. Of course, these guys will come after Hasidic Jews. The right-wing claim about migrants for years has been that they refuse to assimilate and reject our country's values. They've targeted ethnic enclaves for years. It was always a fantasy to believe that that wouldn't extend to Jewish communities, which are fairly insular. A lot of anti-immigrant libels literally originate from anti-Semitic tropes, such as the rootless cosmopolitan. Exactly. This Pedro Gonzalez guy apparently used to be fucking reactionary, but he's now like woke. He's like, he got hit with the libtard beam for some reason, but I didn't even realize that he used to be a reactionary. I've only seen his like takes, his good takes. He says, if you check the replies to this tweet, you'll see Trump supporters expressing bewilderment. And what people should ask them is, why are you surprised that a movement led by a conspiracy theorist ends up here? You can draw a line from this to the Springfield pet-eating hoax to the stolen election nonsense. That's why it will never stop. The movement is led by a conspiracy theorist who not only mainstreamed conspiracy theories into politics, but also showed people how to turn them into an industry. Every time Trump complains about fake news and fake polls and stolen elections, it signals to others that you can just lie. You can just make things up. You can just weave untruths. And if you do it with enough gusto, you will be made into a right-wing celebrity, even be invited to the State of the Union like Nick Shirley. J.D. Vance will recommend you for a Pulitzer. That is how and why people like Russell Brand and Andrew Tate end up on that side, why people like Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly are so at home there. And that is also why there is no fixing the new right. This is a train with no brakes, built in by design. Sammy Gold had a take on this from 11/2025, where he said the online ride made a gentleman's agreement that as an act of MAGA praxis, no racial stone was left to be unturned. Slurs, epithets, eugenics, you name it, were all acceptable now. The idea that it somehow wouldn't branch off into anti-Semitism is laughable. Trumpism is, at a psychological level, enticing due to its being a primal scream of grievance. It's why he beat 15 more established opponents in the 2016 primary. He allowed his followers to be their worst selves. It's going to be hard to tell them, actually, you have to stop here. It's not going to stop. Why would it stop? You taught that you can go after anyone and everyone that is declared non-white. This is literally what you always said. Exactly. I've been banging the drums on this for years, and it's ironic that the same cultural forces that are Israel first came after me so aggressively in the last 2 fucking years, and they still come after me all the time. They still say I'm like a fucking leader in the anti-Semitic movement because they're fucking stupid. Go back and listen to my Oxford speech. I urge you. It will be so fucking salient. Okay? It's prescient, dude. I spoke about this extensively on my Oxford speech, where I said, listen, you're trafficking in the realm of conspiracies. It's going to come after you. A lot of American Jews think that the Israel conversation is where it was maybe 20 years ago. It's not there anymore. People don't fuck with Israel anymore. And the more you associate yourself with Israel, the more the average American that's not Jewish or hasn't like learned about what Israel means to them is going to look at you like you're a fucking Muslim ISIS supporter. Okay? And ironically enough, there aren't a lot of Muslim ISIS supporters. Muslims roundly fucking hate ISIS. ISIS kills Muslims. And yet, the American media apparatus fomented Islamophobia by tying Islam to ISIS over and over again. But you have American Jews tying themselves to the Jewish version of ISIS in the form of Israel deliberately, openly, in broad daylight, over and over again. It's fucking insane. Of course, people are going to look at that and go, what the fuck is this? That's what it has. What do you think? Where do you think this was going to go? Like, I can't understand how people could not have just a fraction of the foresight necessary. And yet they still, nevertheless, continue coming after me, a person who has spent a good deal of time basically weaving through anti-Semitic narratives and explaining to people that you know, anti-Semitism is a bigotry, an ancient form of bigotry that has always been at the crosshairs of those in positions of power at times of need. Whenever material conditions get to a certain point where people are very angry and resentful, who do you blame? You blame the Jews. I've said this many times, and now we're there. What is this? What? ISIS and Israel are not the same? Brain dead? ISIS and Israel are not only partnered, they've been partnered on numerous occasions, but yes, they are virtually identical. Zionism is fascism. Zionism is racism. It has the same colonial exterminationist ambitions and domination ambitions that ISIS had. Israel and ISIS are virtually identical. Not only are they directly aligned sometimes, with Israel offering material support, logistical support to ISIS affiliate groups in Syria, but thanks for highlighting me and all you do. Thanks for the convo. Okay, I hope you understand where I'm coming from, but you know, Israel, Zionism ideologically is identical to ISIS. What? I'm also disappointed in you a little bit because you didn't cover the Indian vid. The hate I received online after that vid has become insane. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm sorry that I don't fucking cover every psychotic racial propaganda that Tyler Oliveira engages in, chatter. What the fuck? This man has done thousands of videos. I don't cover all of them. It's fucking crazy to expect me to cover all of his videos. You think I'm one of the only cultural forces that can combat bigotry on the internet? Like, that's crazy. Yes, Israel and ISIS are hardline fundamentalists. On their basic policy positions are the same: expansion, domination, exploitation, and murder of the out-group at the behest of the in-group. You're right. People get angry at the people telling them they're delusional. It's going to continue to happen until it finally breaks the denial. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the bits and pieces of this video.
Based on your videos.
You don't own this place. You don't own America.
No, you should move on. Nobody wants you here. Please move out.
That anti-Semitism is lucrative, no?
So Pat obviously thought that we should pay for their money, so why don't you move to a different country? So
Why don't you go back to Israel? That would be my question.
I got
Keep
like,
the public safety.
I
Yeah.
would say 150 calls about you already.
What are they calling about?
People trying to live a quiet life. You two gentlemen?
I think one of the other annoying aspects of Tyler Oliveira's coverage on shit like this is that it makes it much more difficult to have a normal and reasonable conversation about like ongoing fraud. You know what I mean? That's what's so fucking that's also like frustrating for someone like myself, because under normal circumstances, like, you can have a real investigative report on shit that takes place in Lakewood, right? Like, and that has happened in the past, like good journalists, sometimes even like my first interaction with what's his face, who's at Forward, he's Orthodox himself, and he has Jacob Kornbluth. Thank you. My first interaction with Jacob Kornbluth was when he was, as a member of the Orthodox community in New York City, when he was basically whistleblowing on the ways in which the Orthodox Jews were getting together and violating a lot of the rules around COVID. And they almost fucking killed his ass for that. If you recall, if you were here during my COVID coverage during like 2020, 2021, there was a point where they like literally, there was a super right-wing MAGA Hasidic content creator, like a radio shock jock, that got like hundreds of Orthodox Jews in the streets to surround Jacob Kornbluth's apartment. Okay? It was crazy. It was unlike anything I've ever seen before because of his coverage. So, like, there are real instances of fraud, or real instances of like, dangerous violations of like healthcare restrictions that epidemiologists have suggested. Like, this kind of shit happens. But if you look at it and go, yeah, well, there you go, Jews are fucking violating the rules again, or there you go, Jews are fucking frauding the government again, all of a sudden, it turns from a very real conversation that you could be having into one where it's just like, it's just pure racialized animosity.
I saw a video of you walking into 136 Hillside. They asked not
Fair
to
enough.
come back.
Amazing.
If you come back, it'll be a
Trespass or what?
trespassing charge.
So you say anti-Semitism, I say anti-Goyism.
The Jewish community is extremely racist.
You have a group of people that call themselves God's people. You are a Semite supremacist.
Elon Musk has 12 kids. Why can't I have 12 kids?
He pays for them. You're arguing that I should pay for your kids.
I'm arguing that the government said.
That's our money. I pay taxes.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing? Should I call the cops on you? Okay, that's it.
We may be in a corrupt hellhole. So what am I being pulled over for?
We got a call. Keep your hands on the steering wheel when you do so.
This is Lakewood, New Jersey, home to one of the largest and fastest growing Orthodox Jewish communities in America, having anywhere from 6 to 10 kids per family, causing the community's rapid growth to spill into the neighboring towns of Jackson, Toms River, Brick, and Howell, causing non-Jewish residents to fear that their town will soon be turned into Little Jerusalem, just like Lakewood.
The tactics within this community, I would liken it to
Vice chairman of the Israel Advisory Committee for Donald Trump in 2016. How did you get a relationship with the White House? Who in the White House?
I think I don't want to say.
Who are we messing with here right now, Chris? Is this video a mistake, man?
I'm going to be honest. The powers out here are pretty immense.
It's not about Jackson. Jackson is a test case. If it isn't squashed soon, is going to take over the entire country.
It's already a problem in all the surrounding towns. You have billionaires from Lakewood being involved, people connected to the President of the United States.
In New Jersey, is there room for a two-state solution?
No, there's clearly not. I think it's going to be a fight.
I ride around Lakewood. There are near Lakewood, outside of Lakewood, and all these towns around Lakewood, there are housing developments.
Like one of the most common ways in which like groypers initially used to do the whole like, oh, they hate the goyim or whatever, was they would take like a blurry camera footage of like a Kahanist sitting around and being like, oh, the goy cattle, like we're gonna dominate the goy cattle, and they'd be like, this is what every Jew believes. And that's a very classic way to do racial agitprop, right? It's a very classic way to do it. You look at like an edge case or like a fucking wild supremacist demon, and then say this is how the entire fucking minority population believes. Okay, it's a classic example. I mean, they do it. This is, if you're black, you're probably very aware of how this is done. You know, if you're trans, you've seen it, you've experienced it. This is what they're doing, but now they're doing it to Jews.
I am lived there. There are no Yidden there yet, but all these housing developments, someone who they could turn it around. We saw what happened in Lakewood itself. There are a lot of other opportunities if people want to take that jump and become a shtickle pioneer.
As the Orthodox Jewish community consolidated political power in Lakewood, taking majority control of the Township Committee, Planning Board, Zoning Board, and School Board, financially depleting the public school system for non-Jewish kids, overwhelming local infrastructure, and turning a once quiet town into a densely populated, over-trafficked Jewish enclave prioritizing Jews over non-Jews. Before I investigate the Jewish takeover of Lakewood and of the nearby town of Jackson, I first want to visit the town where the blueprint was born, Muncie, New York.
Someone like David Badner saw the opportunity a few years ago. He bought 50 to 100 houses in Muncie. I believe that he single-handedly, in a certain way, turned around Muncie. These are opportunities that come up every once in a while, and someone has to step up to the plate.
Miller News, thanks for meeting up on such short notice, man.
My Muncelandians know we here. We outside. Yeah.
When did you notice Muncie begin to form as a Hasidic Jewish enclave?
I would say 20 years ago, I saw the first.
You're on the cover of Teen Jacobin? I thought it was a joke. I didn't realize they are literally doing Teen Jacobin. That's crazy.
Start of it, and then every year it just started to grow exponentially.
Hey!
Stop.
It's me. How are you? Stop what?
They on Tyler. Yo, they on Tyler.
Stop.
But the Jews here were not happy to see me after I asked how they afford 7 to 10 kids on a single income and if they were on welfare in Kiryas Joel.
How many kids do most people have out here?
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids?
They are proud to do what the Torah says, that you need to be multiple and fruitful.
How do you afford to study the Torah, though?
God help me.
Does the American taxpayer help you, too?
Oh, so yes.
How do people afford to have such big families out here?
It's not the same.
Are you Tyler?
I'm Tyler.
Are you trying to do another anti-Semitism video?
How did I spread anti-Semitism? That's crazy you said that. Life circumstance, different culture. So this is their way of, like, listen, I know you're frustrated about what some of the things we focused on. Is that kind of what I'm...
Bro, this is literally like going to a fucking Mormon enclave and just being like, well, you know how all Christians are. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. You know how Christians are, getting up to their fucking Christian initiatives again.
Getting at? Sure. So give me some examples of how things were misconstrued. Yeah, what did I get that was wrong?
So it's not necessarily misconstrued. Well, it is misconstrued. There's a lot of it that's, you'll cut a lot of it, cut out different words, make it sound a lot worse than it is. There's a lot of people here that are on welfare. A lot of people are in Section 8. A lot of people that are on a bunch of different WIC, food stamps, stuff like that.
Sure.
If you go to any low-income communities, you're going to see that. They're all going to be on the different welfares.
Okay, so they were on welfare.
Yeah,
okay.
No bit of denying that.
Okay.
But again, it's the way you say it, it's the way you twist it, the way you...
How did I twist it?
Not twist it, again, twist is the wrong word.
I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from.
Growing up in an extremely... Dude, go.
The insufferable hug. See, you say I misrepresent, and then they do...
Okay. I'm not saying they're all good people. It's like I said, wherever you go, there's going to be the idiots. There's always going to be the assholes wherever you go.
I totally...
What is this? LA-based photojournalist has been trying to credit... What is that? The photojournalist took a Clark Kent photo at downtown LA strike is bummed out you didn't credit him. Mind reaching out to him on IG. Eric Anders. Wait, what? I thought I credited everyone. Yeah, I'll fix it. What is it? Eric Anders. Which one was it? Which photo was it? I don't even remember. Did I credit the wrong photographer or something? Wait, I'm confused. This one? No, I did. I credited the photographer that took this photo. See? What are you talking about? This is confusing to me. I credited the photographer that took this photo. Am I missing something? Is there a different one? The sexy Clark Kent photo from your Twitch comeback? You probably did. Yes, that's not him. Oh no, not this one. Someone please find the Reddit Clark Kent one. It's not on your IG page? Wait, what? Then fucking where is it? Like, what do you mean? Wait, it's not on your IG page. What? How can I help? That's the real question. Like, what can I do to help out? I followed your friend on Instagram, but it wasn't my post. It was a Reddit post that went viral. This photo? No, I don't think it's this photo. Are they talking about this photo? No, he said the Clark Kent one. I think I know what he's talking about, but it's not here. Like, I didn't post it on my Instagram. Yeah, it's this one. I think he's talking about this one, right? Here, I'll post it on my seems it's his fifth photo. I'll post it on my Instagram story. How about that? Is that good? My you know, I would hate to fucking post shit without properly crediting it. I don't know exactly where it is though. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find it now. I liked it, but it's been a minute. So anyway, let's get back to the video for the time being. Not a very W derail, but it's all good.
I get it.
You talk about the community. It feels like you're trying to create a narrative that you did not find. You found people that are on welfare that have a lot of kids, but your headline addicted Jews.
What is your frustration? I'm curious. Welfare dependent, welfare reliant, welfare addicted. What's the difference? Tell me. They need it to survive, and without it, they die. What is the difference?
It's addictive to bait click. That's an addiction.
That's an addiction?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you addicted to being a victim or what?
No.
The Goyim were grateful someone was finally bringing up their town's issues.
I show you. They take all my money, these people.
You think they take the money? A Monsiland, call me amigo.
Dude, pinning other minority groups against one another. This has got it all. This has got it all, baby. This is expertise in right-wing slop. Right-wing racialized slopaganda. Looking at an edge case or systemic problems that exist in one community to say like all of the members of that marginalized background are engaging in it, creating plausible deniability, making it seem like it's a Jew specific problem too. That's another one. It's got it all.
All right, see you, bro. How do you like living here as a non-Jew?
So.
Well, I don't
What
like
do you mean
the
by
area.
so-so?
Because they're Hasidics.
Did they treat you as one of them? Like,
No,
are you guys
no.
on the same page?
No. They don't bother me because I don't deal with them.
Okay. Do you think there is large-scale welfare fraud out here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a lot. They get away with everything. They get the Section 8, they get everything, the free housing and, you know.
Do you think most people work out here in the Hasidic community? No. How do they afford their bills?
I wish I knew. I would do the same thing, too.
Bro, it's the same. Bro, it's the same method. It's the same fucking method. Get like the logos, the shit on the group to say like this is a everybody hates them, all this shit. It's literally a one-to-one copy of the Somali thing, if not a more pervasive problem.
And what are your thoughts on the driving out here? I gotta ask you that. It's the most important question.
I don't want to talk about it.
The driving is crazy.
Okay.
You got a stop sign over there, they don't even stop. They just pass, That's why so much traffic and accidents, and it's crazy.
You saw the Curious Joel video. Why was that video good?
That video was good because I've been in East Ramapo for as long as I remember. I also went to Spring Valley High School. I went to, I've been in the school system, and we've definitely seen a lot of things, especially since our school board was majority private school owners, mainly Jewish white men, and most of our school was not Jewish. And they had control over our public school system over like the past 10 years, purposely voting no on our school budget vote so that way we would fail, and we lost about 3-2 schools.
Basically, through block voting, Orthodox Jews won enough seats to control the East Ramapo school board and went on to eliminate hundreds.
I'm losing it. Bro, class issue presented as a racialized problem. Once again, literally a pervasive problem with private schooling in every fucking part of the country. Every part of the country. This should be taught in schools as a way to dilute class-related issues to very effectively turn it into some reactionary bullshit. This is literally like this video is the clearest example of anti-Semitism is the socialism of fools narrative. Okay? It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like a perfect example of it. It's mind-boggling. This is also part of the reason why I fucking yell about anti-Semitism in general. Okay, the Hasids aren't acting this way because of class. No, chatter, with your own personal involvement with Hasidic communities and your anger coming out here, okay? That people probably don't know. Before people say it's being anti-Semitic, that chatter is Jewish. The organizational principle or the sense of community around Hasidic Jews is utterly immaterial because this problem persists in literally every fucking American neighborhood where there are Christian schools as well. My argument is this is a pervasive problem in the United States of America, everywhere else. Just because these guys have been able to organize around, a community, organize around like being Hasidic Jews in one neighborhood, doesn't change the fundamental problem here, which is allowing private schools to suck up state subsidies and destroy public schools in the fucking neighborhood. You think this is just a Lakewood problem? Fuck no. A version of this exists everywhere.
Hundreds of public school positions like teachers and social workers, while approving millions of taxpayer dollars to be spent on their children's religious private schools, ultimately gutting the public school system for the estimated 9,000 black and brown public school students, while diverting that money to their private religious schools.
They give us food that's rotten and it's cold and it hurts our stomach.
I ask you, do not take our music program away. I love playing an instrument. My brother would be crushed.
And the budget cuts were so devastating that in one instance, school shut down, and the majority Jewish school board then voted to sell it to a Jewish yeshiva for pennies on the dollar. Basically, the poorest, most vulnerable kids in these communities had their schools gutted and looted, all by a majority Jewish school board whose kids didn't even attend public school.
We believe that some of the decisions that have been made by the board have not been in the best interest of the public school community.
You don't like it, find yourself another place to live.
How was your education?
My education, it was decent, but it definitely could have been better if we had the resources that we were.
Bro, you think this guy gives a fuck about education, public education, let alone education for black and brown children? I'm sorry. You are the biggest sucker on the planet. No, he's just pitting one fucking marginalized community against Jews. That's it. That's it. That's what he's doing.
Allowed to have,
Don't be a
but
fucking
again,
idiot.
For the past 10, 15 years or so, people have been purposely voting no on our school budget vote, so that way we had no funding and money for our school. And, you know, that was done purposely.
And who was voting no?
Majority, the Jewish community. You, like, drive around here, you'll literally see signs saying vote no for a school budget, which I think is crazy. Luckily, we were able to get a ward system to be able to get 3 seats for, you know, the wards, but if it wasn't for that, we still would be majority white Jewish men voting for public school students that they don't care about. Yeah, and they purposely go out their way to isolate us. We're basically isolated to the point where we feel like this isn't our home.
A lot of people like to say they're ducking taxes and all that. There's truths and lies to that, but I could only tell you that I've only seen the bad part. The bad part is I've seen houses get broken down. I've seen certain spaces, buildings get destroyed for let's just say for more kosher customs, you feel me? So
I want to thank you for showing our community. I don't believe in hiding. I believe we have a tremendous amount to be proud of, and like every community, we're different. Other communities have their positives.
Tell me about what are some of the best things about this community then.
Tonight at sundown, we shut our phones, we shut our cars, we go to shul. The most beautiful part of our religion, do you understand that Orthodox Jews can be anywhere? The sun is coming down and it's the last opportunity to pray what's called mincha, which is afternoon services. They could be in the most important meetings and they'll go pray. And they could care less about anything happening. The same thing's with Shabbos. We come home, our families are waiting. We sing Shalom Aleichem. We welcome in the Shabbos, and you'll say back Aleichem Shalom, right?
Could they feed 10 kids
Yes.
without those programs?
I am one of 10 children.
You're
My
driving
father-
a G-Wagon.
Like people, bro. People literally, people who say like, oh, well, they're not organizing around the boundaries of class here. You think the Hasidic Jews are doing this because they're, because they're aware of their class position. Yeah, just like the fucking Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not a religious conflict, but a conflict surrounding the dispossession of the indigenous population at the behest of a fascist ideology that still ultimately engages in war for material extraction. This is no different in that regard as well. Don't be fucking suckered in to the argument that they're presenting to you. It's ridiculous. This very same issue persists all across the country, in Christian enclaves, in Jewish enclaves. It might even in some way, shape, or form exist in Muslim enclaves. Like, it's a problem with the way public school funds are allocated back to private institutions. These guys are just utilizing what was initially set up probably for Christians to their own advantage in the United States of America. But the results are still the fucking same. Charter schools and private schools that suck up the funds away from public schools.
Bro.
My father was never on any welfare. I used to reuse sandwich bags to save my father a penny.
That's great for you.
You're not welcome here, and you're not welcome in a lot of other places based on your video.
What about me, though?
I love you, man. You are funny.
You don't own this place. You don't own America. I can do whatever I want.
Whatever you
So
want.
get in your G-Wagon, get to work.
You're not trying to bring people together. You never did, you never will. It's who you are. Somebody hurt you deeply, and I'm sorry.
He was right. Someone did hurt me. Whoever told my sponsors to pull out after making one video exploring a community of welfare-addicted Jews. If you want to help me avoid ending up on welfare too, and get access to all of these videos early, and watch never-before-seen content I can't upload on YouTube, go subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/TylerAll.
Bro, he's a fucking freak.
I headed to Lakewood, New Jersey, one of the fastest-growing Orthodox.
And he got banned on Patreon too. This fucker ushers in hate on black community while attempting to cover up phony care for us with the other hand. Yes. Bro. This is how reactionary propaganda works. This is how it works. This is how it's always worked. Just like the whole like anti-affirmative action initiatives obviously fail for the longest time with white students consistently claiming that they were being victimized. So they went back and they got a bunch of Asian students. Anyway, let's continue.
Jewish communities in America, where a similar Jewish takeover has taken place, leading to the gutting of the public school system, all while turning a predominantly Christian Italian town into Little Jerusalem.
I'm trying to merge a gap to see if there's any way that we could actually be one community. Because as you can tell, it's two separate communities. Look around. You will not see a non-Jewish resident here.
We got the Yiddish bus.
This is really all Jewish stores.
Sure.
Now, that pizza place, it's going to be kosher pizza, probably.
A lot of these signs are written in Yiddish,
What?
and everything's insulated. Basically, you come here to this plaza, get everything you need.
Like, what? Who gives a fuck? They do this to Muslims too. Like, halal. Who fucking cares? Oh, no, dude. Kosher pizza. Where my country gone? They're taking over, brother. Like, that part is dumb as fuck.
Quite convenient, quite nice.
Now, everyone can shop here. Of course, we could go in and they'll be friendly, but everything's geared towards one community.
But and is it always this way? This part here, is this newly developed in the last?
Oh, yeah. So this used to be a concrete yard.
Got it.
So we're almost where we're standing. Used to have rows of concrete trucks.
Sure. It's bustling. Busy. Now, this place was packed with Jews buying groceries for Shabbos, but keep in mind, Goyim are fully allowed to come in here and shop whenever they please.
They're very friendly. I don't think anybody's going to be nasty to us. Is a lot of the fear bullshit warranted? Definitely not. Definitely not.
What?
But I do think they don't feel comfortable enough to do it.
But it's important to understand the bigger picture here. As kosher stores move in, more Jews move.
Dog, it's literally like going to an Italian deli and being like, oh, these guys hate you for not being Italian, except don't be fooled, they're very nice. But make sure you understand, it's their wily ways, the wily, cunning ways of the Italian that tells you, that welcomes you into the deli, says, Mamma Mia. But deep down inside, there's a hidden truth. They hate you. They want you to be cattle. It's just a fucking grocery store, man.
Here too, creating a positive feedback loop where a town rapidly becomes a Jewish hub, ultimately changing the character and identity of a town, and in Lakewood's case, overwhelming the infrastructure. Before we explore the many implications of life for Goyim as towns like Lakewood become increasingly Jewish, how quickly the word anti-Semitism gets weaponized in real time out here.
That anti-Semitism is lucrative, no?
Why do you think anything that you don't like to see is anti-Semitism? What have I said that's anti-Semitic? Go.
When you talk about people accepting government money, and the overlay is a bunch of pictures of fraud, you're trying to twist it to make it look like we're doing fraud.
There were welfare programs that were defrauded by Jews. What did I say that was a lie?
There are
Go.
welfare programs that are defrauded by
Yes,
everybody.
and I made a Minneapolis video as well. I've made several videos. Why are you being so sensitive?
What you're trying to make it sound is like anyone who accepts government money in the Jewish community is doing fraud.
That's your interpretation.
What you're doing is dangerous.
How is this dangerous? Why should you be treated like a protected group? You're asking for special privileges.
No, we're not. We're asking just to be fair, and you're not being fair.
I am being fair.
This is going to make you a lot of money, and it's going to gin up a lot of hatred towards a community that's seeing a rise in anti-Semitism that hasn't been seen in years. Every single day, our lives are at risk, and this is going to lead to more.
My sponsor literally got pulled out of the video once they learned the topic of that video. I lost the sponsorship. How is that lucrative? Tell me. So you say anti-Semitism, I say anti-Goyism. Listen, man, you got a kid in the car, I just noticed. Drive your kid home, get your groceries. You're getting honked at. Let's go. It was good to meet you, though.
So you're arguing with the United States because the president obviously thought that we should pay for their money, so why don't you move to a different country?
Why don't you move back to Israel then if there's so much anti-Semitism, right? Like that guy said. Why doesn't he go to Israel?
We are giving back.
Listen, in theory, welfare is a good idea. It's sweet, right? At what point is it too far? Because this is a program designed to help single moms after they get divorced and keep the kid from starving.
I also disagree with you that someone doesn't have a right to have a child.
I think you should have a child if you can afford it, right?
Interrupt real quick?
Sure. Let's hear it.
Okay. You two gentlemen, I saw a video of you walking into 136 Hillside. They asked not
Fair
to
enough.
come back.
Amazing.
If you come back, it'll be a
Trespass or what?
trespassing charge. You're
Fair
trespassing.
enough.
If you don't like the laws of America and you think that the government welfare is stupid or whatever,
I would like to change the laws. Just like
Okay.
you would like to create anti-Semitism protection laws that give you guys protected classes and protection against anti-Semitism, whatever that means, right?
So
why don't you go back to Israel? That would be my question.
Because I like it here.
Same here. I like it here, but I like to make some changes. We can both agree on that, right?
So please keep on moving.
God bless you. There we go. He loves us.
I know. Make a
Yeah,
change.
you guys have group chats of me. You guys say, beware of this guy like I'm like Hitler or something. I'm like, come on, dude. I'm a nice guy. I talk to everyone.
Elon Musk has 12 kids. Why can't I have 12 kids?
He pays for them.
Your story point over here is that people can't have children if they can't afford them. You, as a society, are born from people who started with two, okay? Adam and Eve. That's it.
New Jersey ain't gonna live this down. Listen, I don't know this state. I have no affiliation with this state. I don't know what the fuck this state is. I've never even seen a jersey. What, like the things that people wear? Is that what you're talking about? Bro went to Rutgers, Rugrats, that TV show? Fuck you mean? With the babies?
You want to go with the Big Bang, but it started at some point. There was 2 people, and now there's billions, and there was trillions throughout the world. So you're saying if you can't have
what
kids...
does that have to do with anything? All of those people didn't have welfare. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Did they have a government that paid for their kids?
We live in a government that decides
what is
that
this
if you have
fucking
children,
combo, man?
we're going to help you. Now everyone does their part.
You should not have more kids than you can afford. You're arguing that I should pay for your kids.
Okay.
That's what you're arguing.
I'm not arguing that I was for the kids.
You are.
I'm arguing that the government said.
No, that's our money. I pay taxes. I shouldn't be funding your
And you
kids.
elected Donald
Should
Trump.
not be funding your kids. You don't pay for my kids. Okay, fuck, I could do this all day.
Why don't you go?
No, you should go because
You
people
should
are, you're stopping traffic.
should move.
Guys, let's go. Move on.
He's stopping traffic, not me.
Yeah, right. No, you should move on. Nobody wants you here. Please move out.
He was saying, Tyler, he loves me.
So
man.
we're not
That's
allowed
right.
here?
Come. You want to come to the corner?
Where? Over there? Let's go move. Let's go.
You know, I know what you did in the video, and we all saw it, and we still see it. But it's like
What did I get wrong?
nobody can cross the government. The government knows everything. The United States federal government knows everything.
Not if you're fraudulently found.
No, it's not true. That if you feel that you live in a country that is corrupt,
I do.
Why are you still living here?
Well,
This is why, no matter how isolated or insular an ethnic enclave you can have, you still 100% become a fucking Jerseyan. Okay? Look at this motherfucker. He's basically Italian. You take the yarmulke off and you're like, oh, that's an Italian guy. That's an Italian guy, and I'm seeing like a hint of an accent. I can't really recall what it is. I mean, he's even wearing the fucking kippah to the side, bro. He's like, yeah, like a Yankee with no brim, right? But Jewish style. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, come over here. Come over here. Let me talk to yous. Let me talk to you. Hey, what you doing with these fucking Jews I don't like? All right, come on.
not everyone has options, right?
I can give you a
Brimless is too crazy? Yeah, bro.
list of 15, 20 countries off the bat that you can live in.
Yeah, regardless, let's say America is corrupt, I still want to live here.
You understand?
Oh, but hold on. Just because there is corruption here, which there is.
There is no.
What are you talking about? Let's not be silly here.
If there would be corruption, the FBI would love to come here first than any other location in the world.
Come on, that's not true.
Okay. I don't know if that's the best argument. I'm sorry. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the American government and the FBI they have maximum anti-Semitism. They would love to fucking come in here. It's just fucking chuds on all sides. No, literally, it's perfect. It's chud on chud violence.
Well, I read the numbers in Minnesota.
Had, 22 people indicted for Medicaid fraud?
Numbers in Minnesota. And listen, you can attack them as much as you want. What they did, that's big numbers, man.
Both of your schools had money laundering. You had people. Yes, both.
There's 45 schools here.
So BMG had people that were.
Bro, look at them. Like they're brothers. Okay, all men are brothers, bro. This guy and the other guy. I mean, he's wearing the brimless. He's wearing the one with the brim. You know what I mean? You got different Los Pollos variants out in the wild, arguing with one another, sounding exactly like Los Pollos.
Were charged with money laundering, and so did the school for special
As of when?
2019, 2018, 2017. Look it up. It's all over Google.
I don't look it up. You got to show it to me.
Come on.
Nah, don't look it up. You got to show it to me. Oh, it's fucking awesome.
85% of people in this vicinity between these 4 or 5 zip codes work very hard.
Yeah.
So if you want to go and dig Lakewood, where the same capital you're going to find in this small percentage.
You're making me want to dig now. You're making me want to look.
You're already digging, man. You're digging already for
I'm at Whole Foods. What are you talking about? 4 months?
What do you mean? Go break your head. You can keep on breaking your head.
I will break my head.
No problem. Eventually, when you break your head too much, you end up digging water. When you dig water, there's nothing under it.
You were in Jackson, which is really like a continuation of Lakewood. By the way, I don't know if you know how I toppled the government there. They had all these anti-Semitic laws. It was crazy. I had 2 conversations with the White House, and eventually DOJ got involved. But anyway, so I don't know, are you already doing your Lakewood thing?
I'm here with Dr. Richard Roberts. You sold a pharmaceutical company for $800 million. You were the vice chairman of the Israel Advisory Committee for Donald Trump in 2016.
Yes.
And you reached out to me. Why did you reach out to me via email?
Because you posted that, first of all, you did your video, Curious Yoel in New York, and got a lot of Orthodox Jews very, very upset.
But why did you reach out to me?
But towards the end of the video, you saw the altruism in the community, and you seem to respect that. And since I could see that you seem to me to have a sincere desire to actually get the real facts, because if you were just bigoted against us, you wouldn't be struck or commenting on the altruism in our community.
But you casually toppled the Jackson government. A, what does that mean? B, how did you get a relationship with the White House?
I never spoke to DOJ. I did speak to people in the White House twice to tell them what was going on, because...
Who in the White House?
I think I don't want to say.
You think this guy got the access because he's Jewish? He might have used friends that he knows, but if you're a random Orthodox Jew, okay, and you live in Section 8 housing, you think you're getting access to the fucking White House? Or do you think the fact that he's a billionaire has something to do with it? Sorry, 800 millionaire. I apologize. This is the filter. This is, by the way, Tyler Oliveira is far more sophisticated than Nick Shirley, which isn't saying much, but he is far more sophisticated than Nick Shirley in the way that he does the propaganda. But it's still a filter. Ask yourself that question. You think a random broke boy Orthodox Jew gets to have their needs met, or do you think this still has do you think that this still has a lot to do with your class position?
First off, though, so you mentioned Jackson's a continuation of Lakewood. You toppled the governments. You went to the White House willy-nilly. Called? Okay. You're connected to the White House.
By the way, I rarely leave my house.
Which just goes to show the scale of your connections, in my opinion. I hear this voicemail, I'm like, shiver me timbers, who am I dealing with a little bit here, right? This guy's...
Little old me.
All right, so he's calling. And you might be wondering, why are mega wealthy Jewish power brokers connected to Donald Trump trying to set the record straight with a lowly goy tuber like myself? This all begs the question. Why are they so afraid of me?
I think they just don't want you to portray Lakewood in a bad way. That's really all it is.
Is there any...
Everywhere. It's good to see everywhere.
Exactly. Good, bad, and the ugly everywhere, right?
100%. I used to live here in Lakewood when I was in 9th and 10th grade. I love Lakewood. There's so much Jewish life here. It's so easy to be Jewish, and everything's cheaper. It's amazing here.
Why did Lakewood become such a large Jewish hub?
So I think it started with BMG, Base Marriage Gavoa, and then you had a lot... You know BMG?
Yeah. Tell me more about BMG, though, right? I hear it's like the Harvard of yeshivas.
Yes, it's top-notch. You just sit and learn all day. You already finished your high school phase. Most people went to Israel already, came back, and they just sit and learn all the time. It's amazing. I used to do it when I was a teenager. Lakewood's an amazing place and everything, and I think I've seen your videos all over. I just think that people get nervous and stuff like that, but you're just coming here filming the truth, and you're working just like we are. That's it. We're all in the same boat.
What should we know about Lakewood?
It's a great place. You're always welcome here.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we've got, it's welcoming for the most part. A few guys are fired up. We try to give them the chance to speak, have a conversation. Do a little psst.
Okay, man.
What whisper did we miss?
Nothing. I gotta go now, but
yeah. I love it. To a T. A guy gets a whisper, and he goes quiet. Would you like to say anything? How you doing?
You don't like it, huh?
With this guy whispering in his brethren's ears, he comes up when they're talkative and sweet, and he goes,
Take her out, take her out.
Psst, psst, and then they stop talking. It is miraculous. Tyler, good to meet you. What's your name?
If I say something good, you're gonna put it on?
Let's go. We just met up with the guy. He was pissed off that we come around here and explore. This guy's killing me, dude. The psst, psst. This is, he's treating you like a...
Just a reminder, this town is a 70% Trump voting town. Oh yeah, no. high density hogs, okay? Very high density of hogs here. That's why it's so funny. That's part of the reason why people are so fucking mad on the conservative side, because these are Trump voters. This is part of the base. He's going after the bread and butter. He's going after the MAGA base.
Child. The whole world's gonna laugh so nice. I know.
This is pathetic. He's treating you like a child. Who is this guy?
Why are you guys
This
being
is
told what to say?
pathetic. Let the man speak. Okay, does that not look like suspicious activity?
Why is there so much secrecy if you have nothing to hide?
Why would he do that? He's the head whisperer. All right, tell me what you're gonna say.
How much money everyone makes in this town? Crazy amount.
What?
The police is also going to follow us, just FYI.
Gonna follow us.
There's a police response, special response unit, and the cops had their internal monologue that they're going to just trail us around.
Amazing. So given that the cops are being called so often, they're just gonna follow us around all day. Land of the free, home of the brave.
And then I stumbled upon a Kosher Collision, another example of Lakewood's infamously terrible driving.
We were just showing how densely trafficked it is out here, how much traffic there is. We wanted to show some of the driving differences out here.
I don't think you're saying a fair statement. This has nothing to do with dense driving.
Oh, what does it have to do with bad driving skills? Or
Wait, did he roll up to the guy who was in a car crash while he's still in the car? Ain't no fucking way, bro. Mamdani rescues Columbia University protester? Wow. Bro, I had no idea. Wow, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Wait, let's look at the HasanAbi TikTok. Let's just look. Let's just look at the TikTok. Oh my God. Zoran Mamdani just got off the phone with President Trump. In our meeting earlier, I shared my concerns about Columbia student Elena Agayeva, who was detained by ICE this morning. He's just informed me that she will be released immediately. That's fucking incredible, dude. That is incredible. Fantastic shit. He made the boss call. Trump fucking loves him, dude. Holy shit. I had a productive meeting with President Trump this afternoon. I'm looking forward to building more housing in New York City. He's so... Dude, Zoran Mamdani is exactly the person that Trump would love to win favor with. Donald Trump's greatest anger and resentment towards elite liberals stems from the fact that New York elite society never recognized the Trump family as a part of the elite. They always considered him to be crude, of poor taste, nouveau riche. That's where a lot of his anger comes from. Zoran Mamdani, on the other hand, did something that Barack Obama never did, which is just kind of talk to him normally. Zoran is a person who was welcomed by the cultural elite very quickly. I mean, it makes sense. He's a well-dressed guy. He's well-spoken. His father is a fucking academic. His mother is a very famous movie director. He's very clearly a part of this group that Donald Trump desperately wants to win favors with. Part of the reason why Donald Trump is fascinated with Zoran, seemingly, is because he has a way of communicating with him in this charming manner that isn't like outwardly repulsed, that I think Donald Trump just responds this way to whatever he's doing and offers him whatever he wants. God. Your cat reaction, you didn't say a word, is blowing up
if
too.
So how do you propose the nation enforce federal immigration law?
We need to, first off, abolish and prosecute.
It's crazy you have the same outfit on as that video. Bro, I know I'm fucking wild like that.
Totally because of this.
Anyway, let's get back to this guy who got into a car crash Jewishly. I mean, that he literally is a kosher car crash. That's what he said. Like, I just never thought I would see it in my lifetime. This kind of like otherizing of Jews as like a non-white part, as like an out group, was definitely something a lot of people shied away from doing. They did not do, like, he's treating Jewish people like they are black or brown or Muslim. Like, you do this kind of shit to Muslims, everybody loves it. They're like, oh my God, more of this, please. It's crazy. Recession indicator, bro. Straight up. Jews are now at the precipice of no longer being seen as white. Pretty wild. Because like, oh, they're driving Jewish, you know? That's literally when you become a marginalized identity, when you become like not a part of the in-group, that's what they do. They're like, oh, well, everything you do is wrong. Everything you do, or anyone from your group engages in anything, any crime or you know, any altercation, now that is the responsibility of the entire group, right?
Fair.
That was a miscommunication.
That's fair.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. There were actually no one on the road.
Totally fair, okay. You need help getting pushed?
Literally in the car crash, he rolled up to a car crash with the camera and was like, what's up, you driving kosher style? That's crazy.
Why are you making up a story? Because you need a documentary. There was not one car in sight by accident.
Oh, you just hit the wall.
That's it.
You didn't hit anyone?
No.
Do you need help getting pushed? Okay, we're gonna get out of here. Oh, you're good. Different than anyone else.
Need a job.
I agree.
You need a job?
No, I mean, I'm employed. I employ a lot of people, actually.
Yeah, you make money for doing nothing.
For doing nothing? Do you think moving capital and charging interest is something more valuable than I do, or what?
What?
Moving capital and charging interest? Really, Tyler? Oh, really? I didn't realize you were such a socialist, Tyler. Like, this is what I mean. The first half of the video was like, look at these poor black and brown students that are having their public school fundings eroded, destroyed. Oh, I didn't realize you were a brave education advocate for marginalized communities from the 800 different videos you've done of like, this black town is doing black style crimes, the urbanest of urban crimes in this urban town where urban style individuals are doing all the drugs you've ever seen. And they're doing the drugs because they hate going to school. Okay. Only to then turn around and be like, well, you know, these poor marginalized communities, these black and brown communities are having their resources stripped away by these Jews, kosher style. Like, classic pitting of different marginalized identities. He just straight up went up to this dude and was like, oh, you think moving money around is actually, you think engaging in usury and moving money around is real work? Bitch, are you a fucking socialist? Are you an anti-capitalist? No. Why the fuck are you bringing this up? Yeah, moving money around Jewish style is crazy.
I think you should write about
Tell me.
the hundreds of thousands of people that do favors to people. A book. You never saw so many charity organizations as you have here in Lakewood.
I know there's so many 501c3s. It makes me wonder, are they all charitable? Are they fiending for tax exemptions? You know, would you say
Oh, you activated his trap card, bro. You shouldn't have said charitable contributions. Oh, no. Now he's going to do the fucking cars for kids shit.
a great place to move to for a young family if I have a kid or a wife, a young wife? Okay. Not just the Jews.
My best friends are going.
Okay, respect. What do we have here? We have a... Hey, it's good to meet you.
You see that?
I saw it. What is the name of that organization once again? Hatzola. Okay, good to meet you, man. See you later. And we have Hatzola up here to help the community. Yeah, this guy doesn't even know what the First Amendment is.
We're busy with the knife.
Don't be a joker, bro. Come on. Yes. Come over here. Come over here. I need to get you like a second number. Son. What's your Instagram? You have Facebook?
No, I don't have.
Look at these hundreds. My phone number's been leaked.
You're a little child. Give me a number. I promise you.
Why are you insulting?
I'm not insulting.
You just insulted.
Come on, I'm a little child.
So give me a number. I promise you I'll make it worth it for you.
All right, look, give me your email. Give me your email. Give me your emaal.
732. Give you my number.
All right, hold on. And what was your first name?
Moshe.
We're gonna do some big stuff.
You're afraid, I see.
I don't even know what's going on. Oh man, these guys are next level. I feel like I got dropped off on an alien planet.
And you might be wondering, what is Hatzola and how are they able to blast through red lights like that?
That's crazy. I didn't realize that. I know that there's like Hatzola does like ambulance and stuff, like Orthodox emergency services. I didn't realize they have. Was that like a fucking cop card? That's a little crazy.
It's like a community watch, but they think they are cops. If you notice, they had their lights on and they just ran a red light, just like a police officer would do. No uniform. They had the Jewish.
No, they don't have cops. They have private ambulance services, which is normal. In the state of New Jersey, I mean, in most American states actually, the EMT services are private. The Hatzola is like the Orthodox community's own like private EMTs.
Uniform on, white pants and the curls.
In a police car is what it looked like, but he's not a police officer, and he's blasting through the lights.
Thought you'd never been? Yeah, I read that in the newspaper. I've never been in New Jersey. I don't know what New Jersey is. Thank you for keeping me accountable. I wouldn't want to make the mistake of coming across like I've been to New Jersey at all.
It's like he is a cop. There's a Hatzola billboard right there, Mike. And what is that for?
I mean, you're asking me questions.
Why is he making it seem like this is like a unique thing? Yeah, bro, it's a private fucking ambulance service. Like, it's a private EMT service that Jewish communities have. I mean,
If I have the answers to why, because once again, because there's competing Hezbollah. You have competing groups of these.
Of a non-profit.
Wait, what is this? When words aren't enough. Rebmeyer.org. 1,000 words.
Volunteer
Wait, what is
emergency service?
Yes. It
What is
sounds
that?
like a business, right?
But literally every...
No way, dude. Private healthcare has yielded private healthcare services? That's crazy. Again, if you're not a fucking socialist, or if you haven't ever advocated for making these services public, I don't want to fucking hear from you. And even in a private structure, there's totally appropriate religious exemptions that you can make, like for Muslims or for Jews in general, if they have like different religious practices. Yeah, Hezbollah is free and they don't care if you're Jewish. Mind reading my last message? I grew up in this community. Yeah, it's just like, this is just basically a Jew baiting, okay? It's literally just like, well, they're doing private ambulance services, but Jewish style. Isn't that fucking strange? Like, that stuff is like, this is what I mean when I say, like, they went to a fucking grocery store and they're like, well, this is a grocery store for Jews. Like, it's fine if you're you know, not Jewish. If you're Gentile, you can still purchase goods here, but, you know, don't let their politeness fool you. They want to make you cattle. Like, come on, man. Do you understand what I mean, by the way? As far as like, there is like, as far as like taking away funds from public schools and then reappropriating those funds to like private schools, private Jewish schools specifically, like that's a commonplace practice that happens in this country. We need to tackle it. Okay. But it's not something that we need to tackle on the, you know, ethnic boundaries of Judaism. It's something that we need to tackle at the systemic level across the fucking board. There's plenty of Christian schools that do it. There's plenty of Mormon groups that do this shit as well. It's all done ultimately at the behest of capital and in a way to undermine teachers' unions that are some of the strongest unions that we have remaining in this country. Catholics do it too. They all do it. Everybody does it. Muslims, I'm sure, do it in a certain... Muslims do it too, probably. I mean, I know they do it. Like, for example, here, I'll give you an example of Muslims that do it. Fethullah Gulen has a network of schools. He's a CIA asset, right? And there are a bunch of Turkish schools I mean, all around the country and all around the world, really. But the ones that are in this country are charter schools, and they do the exact same shit. Okay? They do the exact same shit. They get public funding, though. I know they all do, chatter. What the fuck? Did you forget the 7 million different times I've covered this issue about how the American school system is completely fucking destroyed? Because since the 90s, the Democrats basically designed this process where they were also anti-union and decided to go after charter schools and like really pump charter schools that are unaccountable. And it's a way to reorient funds away from... What's up? Oh, we were supposed to do it at 3. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Okay.